Claire Finkelstein is a professor of law at the University of Pennsylvania Law School. She joins us now from Philadelphia. Thanks very much for being with us. So your reaction, first of all, to the sentence that was handed down to Michael Cohen, 3 years. That's not as high as prosecutors wanted.
Well, that's right. And in fact, the federal sentencing guidelines gave the range of 51 to 63 months. So he could have had a higher sentence. Prosecutors were asking more in the range of 41 months, and he got 36 months instead, plus 2 months for the crime of lying to Congress, which was unsworn testimony, and so not perjury, but nevertheless a significant crime. Now, the 2 months that he got for lying to Congress, he will serve concurrently with the 36 months, so it won't add any extra prison time for him. And that really reflects the fact that Mueller was willing to sign off based on his cooperation with Mueller and the Russia probe to a concurrent sentence.
Now, from the moment that these stories first came out about Michael Cohen and the legal trouble that he was facing over all this, he was kind of referred to as Trump's fixer and the person who metaphorically speaking, knows where all the bodies are buried. Is there a sense that he hasn't given as much as let on as much as he knows right now, that he still has more to reveal?
That's right. And prosecutors from the Southern District of New York were disappointed with his level of cooperation. They said his cooperation was selective. And in particular, he was not as forthcoming on the financial crimes as he was on other matters. He was relatively more cooperative with Robert Mueller. And I think that we can expect to see possibly an accelerated pace of cooperation now. Given that he has been sentenced to federal prison time where there is no minimum that he has to serve from those 36 months, he may be able to further reduce his sentence by cooperating more fully. And given that he has now been explicitly called out by the judge and by the New York prosecutors for failing to cooperate more extensively, it would be very much in his interest to increase the pace of his cooperation.
So where do things go from here then, and how worried should President Trump be?
I think he should be very worried. One of the things that came out loud and clear from Michael Cohen's remarks today in court is that he deeply regrets having followed the president with what he called blind loyalty. He was inclined to blame a lot of what he did and losing his moral compass by having a sense that he had to help cover up the president's misdeeds. And that is a lesson to others working with the president and close to the president who may similarly feel that they have to put loyalty to the president over doing the right thing, both morally and legally. And so I think that this may help give some momentum to others who are contemplating cooperation. When you couple that with the fact that you can contrast Michael Cohen's case with Michael Flynn on the one hand, who will serve likely no jail time, and Paul Manafort on the other, who has been completely false in his cooperation and, in fact, not cooperating at all, who will serve likely very significant jail time unless he is pardoned, that gives reason to suppose that future cooperators ought to think seriously about the level of cooperation they are engaging in and follow the Michael Flynn path rather than the Paul Manafort path.
All right, good to speak with you, Claire Finkelstein, joining us there from Philadelphia. Thanks for being with us.